Money you never touch will one day outearn the money you work for. Most people never live long enough to test that sentence. You are about to. There is a version of you standing in front of a refrigerator at 11 at night, doing math instead of eating. Not because you are broke. Broke has levels, and nobody feels sorry for the middle of them. Your paycheck lands twice a month and is spent twice over in your head before it clears. Rent. The car payment. The bill that keeps climbing like it has somewhere to be. Ryan works 2 desks over. Same title, same salary, a different relationship with money. When his bonus hits, he already knows what he's buying. A car. Loud. Announcing itself in a parking lot, saying nothing useful about the person driving it. You take your bonus and do something almost embarrassing. You open a brokerage account. An amount so small it feels like a joke. An index fund. Boring. Slow. The financial equivalent of watching grass grow, except the grass is your future. Rule 1 of the ladder. The people who look richest are usually the ones spending fastest to prove it. Something shifts. Not in your paycheck, but in your patience. You stop checking the account daily because daily is where anxiety lives. Monthly is where progress quietly lives instead. Ryan leases a second car and calls it buying. You don't correct him. If you're doing the quiet math right now, comparing your account to someone else's car, say so below. You meet Frank around this time. Older, unremarkable. He's been investing since before you understood the word. You ask when it starts to feel like something. It doesn't feel like anything for years, Frank says. Then one Tuesday it feels like everything. And you'll have no idea why that Tuesday and not the one before it. Rule 2 of the ladder. Patience is the only strategy that can't be marketed, which is exactly why nobody sells it to you. Something shifts. Not in the market, but in what you notice. A dividend lands that you didn't work for. $10. Then $20. You laugh alone in your kitchen. It feels like an error in your favor. It isn't. It's a second income that doesn't know your name and doesn't take weekends off. Ryan gets promoted. Buys a boat. You stand on the dock admiring an object that loses value the moment it touches water, while your account gains value in silence. Rule 3 of the ladder. The boat depreciates the moment it touches water. The account doesn't know what water is. Something shifts. Not in your income, but in your fear of running out. The car breaks down, and you pay for it without opening another account to cover the gap. The absence of panic is the most expensive thing money can buy, and the cheapest to keep once you have it. This is the part where most people stop watching, because nothing looks like it's happening. If you've made it this far, subscribe. The next part almost nobody sees coming. You tell Frank last quarter's dividends almost covered your electric bill. He nods like you've told him the sky is blue. Wait until they cover a month, he says. Rule 4 of a ladder. Small proof is still proof, and proof compounds exactly like money does. Something shifts. Not in your job title, but in your net worth. Ryan trades the boat for a bigger one, then mentions the payments are tighter than expected. You say nothing. There's nothing kind to say to a man keeping score with a boat while another number, in another account, keeps score with him. Then it happens the way Frank said it would. Not with fireworks. With a notification, you almost swipe away out of habit. The dividends and gains for the month are larger than your paycheck. You check twice. It isn't wrong. For the first time, the money that arrived while you were asleep outturned the money you arrived at a desk to make while awake. Rule 5 of the ladder. The day passive income passes active income, nothing outwardly changes, and everything internally does. Something shifts. Not in your bank balance alone, but in the way your shoulders sit when you walk into a room. You don't quit your job the next morning. What arrives instead is quieter and better. You stop flinching when the banking app opens. You help a sibling cover a bill they were too proud to ask about, and you don't check whether you can afford it. You already know. Ryan asks almost offhand how you seem so unbothered lately. You tell him the boring truth. An index fund. Patience. Money left alone long enough to work harder than either of you ever did at your desks. He laughs it off, the way people laugh off things they suspect are true. You don't need him to act on it. You needed it for yourself, and you have it now. Not loneliness at the top. Just calm. A version of you that sleeps through the night, helps the people you love without flinching, and opens a banking app with nothing left in it to fear. Frank was right. It didn't feel like anything for years. Then, on an ordinary Tuesday, it felt like everything.